Hey YouTubers, good morning, this is Rob Moffett. Guys, today we're going to do a video on the Keter folding work table. I've had mine for over a year. I thought I'd do a review on the good parts and the bad parts about it, the things I like about it, and other people have said that are really good about it, and the things people have said are bad about it, and go over why I think they're right or wrong. When I first moved to my apartment, and I like to make stuff, and I didn't have anything to work on, so I used my coffee table. Let me tell you, working inside the apartment is great. It's right next to the couch, and it's air conditioned. You got the refrigerator a few feet away, but it's a pain to clean up, you know. So I moved out to the balcony, and I got a little cheap $7 thrift store plastic picnic table, and surprisingly, it worked pretty good for some jobs, but it doesn't make any sense because, like, if you sit on it for too long, you end up getting a blood clot in your leg or something, because those seats are for like 7-year-old people. It's not a good thing. I need a real work table. Plus, it doesn't hold a lot of weight. The one good thing about it, the picnic table has a hole in the middle for an umbrella if you're out in the sun. It saves your butt. Let me tell you, out here in the Florida sun, summertime, it's good to have an umbrella on your workstation. But so let me get a work table. So I looked at different ones. There's a lot of different work tables online you can get, and at the big box stores. So I did some research. The most popular is probably the Black & Decker, but the more I looked at it, the more I realized it wasn't going to be for me because it didn't have enough workspace. And the clamps that it has, if you have to clamp a chair upside down and sand the bottom, it's great. You can't do that with a Keter, but how often have I ever needed to sand the bottom of a chair? So I looked into it. I decided on the Keter for different reasons. So I'll give you the reasons I like it and the reasons I don't. And I'm not saying the Keter is better than others and you should buy it. I'm saying it met my needs, and if I tell you what I needed it and how it met them, you might agree too. And so I hope you make up your own mind. So let's go over the reasons that I like it and the reasons I don't like it. The first thing about the Keter is you can take it anywhere. It folds up so easy and small, you can put it in your car. Also, if you work in a small space like I do on my balcony, it folds up out there on the balcony real easy. Like I said, you can put it just about anywhere. Another reason I like it, that it has space underneath. You can put your tools down there and be organized, which hardly any other folding work table has. And third, it opens and closes in seconds. It's like a magic trick. Fourth, the top surface is pretty big compared to all the others, which I like. It not only has a bottom surface below, but a top surface is bigger than any other. Next, it's very sturdy, even on gravel. I was surprised. Next, it has a non-skid surface, so if you put your power tool on top, it doesn't slide around too much. But if it does, you can have there's some stops you can put in to keep it from sliding. Now, next would be the clamps. I think the clamps, they're probably more practical than any other the benches I've seen. I think they hold better than the Black & Decker benches. Next, it has, when you collapse it, you can allow it to stand upright on any of its sides or at the top or the bottom. Where the other folding benches, you notice the ads, they say, well, you can hang up on the wall. That's because you have to hang them up on the wall, because if you don't, they're going to fall over or you're going to bump into it and hurt yourself. The Keter, because of the design and the surfaces, you can stand it up on the edges really easily and put it in out-of-the-way corners. The next part, it's one of my favorite. It's so versatile because you can use it for a miter table saw, a router table, a planing table, soldering table, a workbench for woodworking, for painting your house, or you're outdoor, you're cooking with it, like I do on my balcony, I cook with it. Or if you have a garden, you can use it for a potting table. If you've got hobbies like radio control, you can use it to hold all your stuff when you're out there to meet. You can use it, like let's say you're at a tailgate party, or you want to use it for a grooming table for your dog. You can just about anything you can think of. It's amazing. The thing I've really found out I use it a whole lot for is cooking, because I like to cook in the summertime on the balcony, keep all the heat out of the house. I really use it for cooking more now than almost anything else. I'm really surprised. So it's very versatile. Next thing, it has a really nice built-in handle. Next, it comes with clamps. Clamps are really not too cheap, but you go to buy them. That has two, well, depending on which one you get. The one with the extending legs has different clamps than the non-extending legs. Different model. But it has two clamps, And mine has a toggle clamps, like a C clamp, and then it's got some clamps that more like a stop. It doesn't really work too well, like to compress anything. More like a stop or hold stuff in place. But it also has the toggle clamps, which do a pretty good job of putting pressure on stuff. Next, it comes fully assembled. You don't have to mess around with stuff. You take it out of the box and you're all ready to go. Next, the plastic is pretty strong. I was surprised. It looks kind of sturdy. I mean, it looks kind of flimsy, but it's more sturdy than I thought. Next, well, because mine has the legs that are extended, you can put it on different size surfaces. I don't really know when I'd ever need to have that function though. It's really best to have it on a flat, same level surface than to a different surface. But if you needed something like on a step or something, you could raise or lower one of the legs or two of the legs. Next, it's made out of plastic and aluminum. It's not going to rot, rust, or corrode too easily. If you have stuff out in your balcony or someplace where it's exposed to the weather or the atmosphere, you know stuff after a while, metal is going to rust on you. Just want to keep it out of the sun. I don't know how long the plastic's going to last in the sun. Next, the price isn't that bad. I mean, for a really good, decent folding table, I thought it's very good. I've seen them as low as like $49, $59 at Costco, on up to close to $89 on Amazon. And then next, it has a 2-year warranty, and I called customer service and talked to them, and they speak in English. I pretty much realize what they're saying to me, unlike some places, and they answer the phone, so I'm pretty happy. So basically, it's a great light to medium duty folding table for work surfaces and making stuff. I really think it's a good deal. But now, what about the bad stuff? Now, there are some things you need to know. The legs, they're not really. If you yank on them or pull on them, you don't want to force them. You don't want to mess with the legs. Really, if you release the clamps and push down with your weight, the legs pop open, and then you just push the tab in to lock it, and you're done. You don't really want to mess with the legs and pull on them or yank on them. You want to let the gravity make the legs fold down and then lock the tabs in place. So that's how I think some people who have read the reviews on Amazon have had trouble with their legs, because they were trying to do stuff. You don't want to, once they're in place and locked and the pressure is down from the top, it holds 700 pounds. The other one holds 1,000 pounds. But until then, if you don't lock them in place, there's a weak spot. Next, when you open up, or when you close the Keter, the legs don't fully collapse into the body like they should. You have to press them back in, and I think if you carry them a long distance, they might kind of come out again on their own. I think that's a design flaw, but you could get a bungee cord and fix that real easy. Next, it's not something bad, but it doesn't have any storage compartments. You have the clamps, but when you're done with them, they easily get lost if you don't keep them with the table. Next, it has a lot of nooks and crannies because it's manufactured in a way with the plastic to make a lot of little recesses. And if you have a vacuum or something blow air, you can get all the dust out. But otherwise, it gets kind of dirty. Next, because people realize they can hold a lot of weight on top, what they do is they use it as a step stool, and they put their foot on the bottom shelf. That bottom shelf is not built to hold a lot of weight. If you use it as a step stool and put weight on that bottom shelf, you can break it. You're not really supposed to stand on it, but I think that's for insurance purposes. If you stand in the middle, I think you'll be fine. Because like I said, hold between 700 and 1,000 depending on the model. So it should hold most people or most things you're going to work on a folding work table. But if you want to use it as a step stool, you don't want to do that. You're going to break it, and you're going to be sorry. Also, I don't think you want to stand on those corners. So if you do use it as something to stand on, which it says you're not supposed to do that, I don't think you want to stand on the corner. You want to stand in the center. Next, it's good, like I said, for pressure, a lot of weight on top, but that's from the top. You don't want like lateral pressure. Like let's say you have a hand plane and you've got stuff secured to your bench, and you're using a plane by hand, and working with it, you're going to be moving and wobbling that table. It's not going to work like you want it to. I've also heard where people were using a hammer and beating on it from the side on their project, and the pressure from the side was coming at a lateral angle, and it wasn't working like they were hoping it would work. The pressure should be coming from the top. Next is something I was kind of disappointed in, is due to the way it was manufactured, the underside of the table, it doesn't have any way for you to easily add a C-clamp. Like, I use a metal C-clamp a lot because they're inexpensive and they work really good. But it's hard to put them onto the table. Also, it would be really great if you could add some sort of vise to the table easily. There's ways you can do it with some wood and bolts and stuff, but it's not too easy. Another thing is, people, I noticed they don't like it about the price keep changing. Like, if you go to Amazon, I have a link to Amazon, you can go there. Sometimes the prices are excellent, sometimes they go up, they fluctuate. And people don't like that. They vary so much. I recommend people, before they buy something on Amazon through the link I give, they look on Costco or Walmart or Home Depot, or if you live in Canada, Baynard's, other places, not just Amazon. You might find them a lot cheaper. I've seen them as low as $59. So the price does still fluctuate. The last thing is the clamps. They work, but they're not heavy duty. They're not like a Jurgensen pipe clamp. But those things cost $35 a piece. So you buy two of them, you just bought a Keter work table. So for what you're working with and the price you paid, I think clamps work fine. So those are the things most people don't like about the Keter work table, and the things they do, and the things I like about it. Now, I don't know if Keter ever watches these videos. There are some improvements I think would be fun if Keter could do to make it a little bit better. Like number one is at top. If you could add some sort of grid to the pattern on top, like some of the other work tables have, that would be really, really great. If it had some sort of organizer to put drill bits and nails and things like that, that would be nice. Some sort of compartment. And maybe for there's little plastic caps on the feet. If you're on a vinyl floor, it's not as secure as I would like. If you had some sort of rubber legs or caps on the end, I think it would be better. And if you had some way to add a little slot that you could slide in a power strip, and that way you could plug all your tools into the power strip, and it would be handy right there on your table. Not last, but next would be someplace to add a vise. I talked about that earlier. And also, if you had some wheels you could add to make it into like a dolly to carry some tools to a job site. And then put a hole in the center so you could add an umbrella to keep the sun out. And that's about it. Well, guys, hope you like this video and give you some information about the Keter. If you have any problem with your Keter, it has a 2-year warranty, and they do have customer service. You can call them. And they have a website with some videos so you can see more on the Keter work table. I put new videos out every week, and I got over 400 videos, a lot of different playlists, and some pretty neat people I feature on my channel too. And don't forget, if you are interested in buying or looking into seeing more reviews on the Keter, you can check that Amazon link. And before you buy one on Amazon, you might want to check some other places to see if you have a cheaper price thing. I really appreciate you guys watching my videos and commenting and subscribing and coming back and seeing more.